What is up, everybody? It is Life's Apprentice. Today is a special day. We're picking up our first brand new, truly brand new Nedland's Rolloff trailer. And behind the camera here we have Dave. He is the owner of Nedland Industries. And we're going to do a little walk around with the new trailer and talk to Dave about some of the products that they offer here and this new trailer that we got. All right, Dave, introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And I guess we'll go over the trailer here, and you can give people some ideas and specs as far as the trailer.
Well, I'm Dave Nedland. I'm the owner of Nedland Industries. I've been doing this for over 45 years. One of the big product lines we do is our EZ-Rolloff trailer. It's a standard outside rail cable pull, and it's just really a well-built piece of equipment.
I completely agree. Completely agree. And when you say you've been building things for the trash industry for 40 years, so you're not
Correct.
new at this.
We're not new.
And you guys are not just building trailers just because there's a demand for them. You guys have been building roll-off trailers before it was cool.
Before it was cool.
Before it was cool.
We were building it way before all the others.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and a roll-off trailer, we've never made dump trailers. We've never made Warren Wench operated equipment or batteries. From the get-go when we started, it was a Honda motor. It's one of the most reliable. Honda motors are the most reliable, I should say, in the industry. And that drives a hydraulic pump, which drives the hydraulic cylinders. And we use reeving cylinders just like the big cable pull roll-off trucks. So we don't have a Warren Wench, which has good straight pull power, but when you go into the standard outside rail cable pull with the reeving cylinders, it's like a block and tackle. So you have a lot more power with the cylinders and not needing as much power from your drive, your Honda motors.
Correct. Well, let's start in the front of the trailer here and just kind of go over, because I get questions about this kind of stuff all the time, and I'm not necessarily the one to ask. I'm a huge fan of Nedland trailers and dumpsters and everything that you guys build and create, but I don't know all the exact specs. Like when people ask me the exact gauge of steel here and there and stuff like that, yeah, I could probably go look it up, but I don't know that kind of stuff off the top of my head. You can go through that with this trailer and then show me some of the improvements, because you were just talking about some of the improvements that have been made on the trailer since maybe, what, a year or two ago.
Right. And you know, you start right from the front with the hitch. All of our hitches are standard pintle hitches. And all of our hitches, like these, all come with 30,000 pintle rings, 30,000 pound channels that hold the pintle to the tubing. They all got safety chains that are rated at 15,000 pounds each. Then you move into the hitch, and the hitch is all solid welds and all gusseted. It comes to the main frame, which goes off and feeds to the side on both sides. Everything is gusseted, everything has webs on it, everything has extra steel underneath it. This is all made out of standard 5x3 3/8 inch wall tubing for the main frame, and the tip frame where the container comes up on is 6x3 3/8 structural tubing. And anywhere where we feel we need more strength, and one of those areas is always in by the hitch part, because you're carrying all your weight up here. So as you look, from the beginning of the hitch to the back, it's got reinforced all the way along there, another 1/4 inch plate. So that makes that 5/8 of an inch thick down there. You'll be really hard pressed to bend the frame of an EZ-Rolloff trailer, just because wherever it's needed, it has reinforcing, it has extra gussets, it has extra fish plates that add another 1/4 inch. So again, from here to there, that's 5/8 of an inch thick. All your tarping systems are gusseted, so you don't have to worry about going down the road and it knocks it back and forth side to side. All of the cylinders are greasable. All of the main rail rollers are in bronze bushings and greasable. So these things, they turn really smooth because they're bronze and greased inside. Then you move into your cylinder mounts. They're all mounted, and again, you notice everything is extra. So this has a 1/2 inch plate in here that's on a 3/8 inch plate here. So you got a lot more strength there than you would have if you just welded that to the tube. Because a lot of your force is going to be from them rams picking that load up to dump it, bringing that load back down. All of the cylinders right in the UHMW nylon on the reeving part that picks the cylinder up. So if you look at the ends there, you'll see them white blocks. There's no steel on steel where that rides through there. So it's a smooth operation, it's less friction, and the less friction takes away drag on the motor, giving you more power to take your load up. All of our fenders that are put on are all in rubber mounts. So when you go down the road, fenders are one of the poor things that take a beating. I mean, they're always bouncing, they're always hammering, even though they're even mounted to these diamond plate steps that you can use to get around on your containers. They have to be in rubber, otherwise they're a problem. When it comes to hauling your weight, there's really no axle better than a Dexter Torflex axle. So this particular trailer has two 8,000 pound Dexter axles under it. They're Torflex, they're oil bath. So they have the same lubricating system in them as your over-the-road trucks and trailers, which means the grease isn't slung to the outside and not lubricating. It's actually the oil is running through that bearing all the time and always keeping it lubricated, and you don't have to worry about it getting hot and warm. One of the updates that Justin was talking about is we were having some trouble with the Dexter axles because they all used to have plastic caps around here. And going down the road, we all know about rocks, going in and out of landfills, in and out of job sites. You never know what you're going to hit. So we worked with Dexter and we got them going in manufacturing. These are all aluminum now. So you can go and you're just not going to break them. And they all have drain plugs on them so that when you want to take your oil out, you can just get it so it's set at the right angle, put a can underneath it, the oil comes right out, rather than screwing that thing out and having a mess.
Yeah, yeah.
You won't have that.
I really like that because, not that it's a major issue, but we've had constant issues with it. And by constant, I mean a couple of times a year, you know, a couple of these caps will crack, right, or the seal will break, correct, or something like that, which could cause a bigger problem. I mean, you could blow out bearings or something like that, which would be a lot more devastating and costly than just those caps. Those plastic caps are easy to get and very easy to replace, but you could easily, with somebody else driving, you could easily have somebody running that for too long.
If you run her out of oil, she gets hot, all of a sudden the bearing seize up. The next thing you take out is the spindle. If you take the spindle out, it's a whole new axle because these aren't replaceable spindles. Dexters are made all the way through and through. So you'd have to buy a whole axle, really expensive. Yeah. So we just thought, you know what, let's spend a little money up front here as a company and make sure this issue isn't a problem. Same with our tires. We run a 17.5 18-ply steel belt radial tire. This tire and wheel right here is set for a load rating of 6,300 pounds per tire. So when you do the math on that, I mean, that's over 24,000 pounds of carrying capacity on the tires. And we use them on our 24,000, our 20,000, even our 16,000 GVW trailer.
That's standard.
That's standard.
Like, this isn't an upgrade we're talking about here.
It's not an upgrade.
Right.
Upgrade. And you know, on most of these little things, like just the upgrade on the caps, we didn't charge no extra. We don't want our customers to have a problem. So if we head that off here, they're happy, we're happy. Because I don't like people call and say, this broke.
Right.
So it's, you know, even the rims here, you know, the wheels themselves, this plate right here that's bolted to that axle, that's a 5/16 inch plate. So I tell people, go out and see how thick your wheel is on whatever you got. I will guarantee you it's not 5/16 inch.
Yep.
But these are the main items for this trailer, is the wheels. Because if the wheels can't turn, you can't go anywhere.
Right.
So we put a lot of emphasis on that, and a lot of emphasis again on gusseting and making sure that things stay where they are. You know, every place where there's a tube hooked on, there's a gusset. Every place where we might have cut out here for a light on the backside, we put a gusset fish plate on the backside of that, so that we don't have anything breaking or cracking when you're going down the road. Even on our fenders, if you look on the back side, you see the plates in there that hold the fenders on. And there's a support bar that goes from there all the way out to the outside. Because when you go down the road, these things, they just get rattled. That's just what happens to them.
Yep.
Again, all the frames are greasable, even the tip frame. You know, grease is cheap. Grease is a good thing. I mean, it just makes everything happy when it's time for it to work. All the hydraulic hoses, wherever they can touch anything, they're all coated with they call it a hydraulic bonding band that goes around there, so that it can flex without having any problems. And all the hoses, as you notice, they're all mounted to the frame on the inside. So when you're going into a job site, or you're at the landfill or the dump, or wherever you might be dumping your stuff, you don't have to worry about them getting snagged, and then you're sitting there dead in the water because all your hydraulic hose lines broke off or something, or one of them, and all the oil pumped out. Well, you're not going to do anything then. I mean, you're done. The different tarpers that we make, because we only make two. We make a fully auto and we make a semi-automatic. That's
and the only difference is the motor, right?
That, you know,
Basically.
like we've always told people, it's your choice. We always tell people you should have a tarper because it's a law that you have to tarp your load. And we always tell people they should have a tarper because if you're doing the work and you're doing the business, and you got to climb up on a can and you fall off, who's going to run the business?
Right.
Besides the fact that you're going to have to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
So here,
And this is going to make you way more efficient.
way more efficient. And I tell people, so figure $300 a tarp. So when you drag that tarp across the top of that roll-off, and it's grabbing every 2x4 and every nail on the way back to it, every piece of tin, that's $300. So if your pole is $150 and you ruin a $300 tarp, that really went the wrong way for you. So with this system, you can let the tarp out a little bit here. You can shoot this tower. It'll go up even over a 25-yard container.
Yep.
Then you can just let the tarp go over, and once it gets over to the back, you can just gently let this tarper down. It'll stay wherever you put it because it has a counterbalance valve on it. So the oil can't seep through the cylinder and go down. Wherever they stop, they stop.
Yep.
And I should have added that with everything. I mean, if you blow a hose in the air, the tip cylinders have counterbalance valves on them. They won't come down.
It's not going to come.
It's not going to come flying down. If you blow a hose on the reaming cylinder, it has counterbalance valve down here. So same thing. It can't go zinging away.
Yeah.
If you blow a hose, or if you're worried about your jack settling, it has a counterbalance valve. These are just little extras that can save you a ton of money and save you from getting hurt, or somebody from getting hurt. And
Right.
and it's not an expensive thing to put on, so why not go that extra mile and put that on so that people have less trouble? Because when you're out delivering containers and picking them up, it's all about how many you can do. It's not about, well, I did when I broke down, I did when I broke down. It's like, you know, that's our job to make sure what we sell you can count on.
Right. You're selling this to professionals, not just hobbyists.
Right, right. I mean, this is...
And you're expecting this to last.
The expected life of an EZ-Rolloff is 15 to 20 years. We have them out there that are older than that. We're the only manufacturer in the industry that puts a 5-year structural warranty on the structure of the trailer. I mean, where it can bend, where it can break, is a 5-year structural warranty. There's nobody in the industry will give that. I don't know why, you'd have to ask them, but I guarantee you that it comes from Nedland's, and I can do that because I'm the top guy. I'm going to decide that.
Right.
So
Well, and you're getting what you pay for.
you get what you pay for. I mean,
Yeah.
we all shop for bargains. I shop for bargains. It's just how many times do I shop that same bargain and I go, it wasn't such a bargain, you know,
Right.
and it really, down the road, you know what, that didn't work out like I thought it was going to work out. So, you know, you got to pay attention to how you do that.
Now, the tarper is optional.
It is.
Now, for us, it's a no-brainer for me. What is the tarper? The whole system's like $3,000.
For a semi-auto, it's like $4,200.
Yeah.
For the fully auto, it's like $6,700.
And that's what we have.
You have a fully auto, so you'll have another remote, just like the one that operates the whole trailer.
Yep.
And you'll push that remote, and it'll let this come out.
Yep.
I always tell people let it come out at least 2 feet. Then the other remote that runs a whole trailer will push the tower up, run the tower all the way up. Then you just push the button, and it'll let this gear motor loose. And if you look on the side here, it's all springs here.
Yep.
So when you release the motor with the remote, the springs literally bring it back over the can. Then you stop it, and then you bring your tower down. You stop it, you're done. If you want, we have eyelets on the tarp, and we have hooks on the bottom of the containers. So if you wanted to put a couple straps down because you were going down the road and it was flopping, you can do that.
That's one thing. I have not seen this on a lot of other dumpsters, is somewhere to attach, a bungee.
Yep. You have to have a place to put a bungee.
And I've seen a lot of them don't even have the grommets or the eyelets on the tarp.
That's standard with ours. That we have that. And when you go to a semi-auto, the only difference is it's a little trickier because you don't have the spring and you don't have the gear motor. So what you have to do is
Does it still have the tower on a semi-auto?
It still has the tower. So
Okay.
you would just take the rope back here over the top of the container.
Yeah.
And then you pull it out 2 feet, take your remote, because remember, you got the remote. You don't have to go out there and push a button. You push that remote, the tower goes up. You just bring that string back here. There's eyelets again on the back of the roll-off. So you just go through them eyelets, you tie it off, you're done. You let the tower down, you're tarped.
Yeah.
So it all depends on if you want to run that back and forth electrically or you just want to pull it.
Yeah.
I'm a little older. I like the electrical.
I think at some point in this business, the cost is not an issue so much as the convenience
And the time.
and the time
Yeah.
is an issue. And as the owner and having drivers and employees and stuff like that, I want to make sure that it's easy for them,
Right.
safe for them,
Right.
enjoyable for them.
Right.
And the tarper is all three of those.
It is all three of those. It really is.
And it's faster, easier, so
Right.
should bring more money to the bottom line as the owner.
And I can tell you one of the other things about the EZ-Rolloff. This is customer built. And what I mean by that is Nedland builds the EZ-Rolloff. But we took all the input for years and years from our customers and put that into this trailer. Because who knows it better than someone that's going down the road and has to use it every day?
Yeah.
So we've changed the framing. We've changed the counterbalance system. We've changed the pump. We've changed the hitch. We've changed the tires. We've changed how we lock in the hoses. This all happened from our customers 25 years ago.
Yep.
And
you're still listening and making
and
little
we're
changes.
still listening. Just the little things like the caps on the axles. Like I said, it's maybe not a little. It's maybe a little thing until the oil comes out, and you ruin a spindle, and you got to buy a $6,000 axle. Then it's not a little thing anymore.
Right.
So we always tell all of our customers, if you got something, you bring it to us. We are strictly customer oriented, and we listen to them. They're out in the field.
Yep.
I mean, I've pulled roll-offs around, but I've never went and got them. That's not my job. My job is to build the products that we build and to take care of the customers.
Right.
And it's we do that in everything that we do. I mean, trailers isn't all we do. I mean, we build self-contained compactors. We build roll-offs from 10 foot to 40 foot. We build all that stuff. We build plastic containers and steel containers, and all of them are the same thing. Customers always said, Dave, can you do this? Dave, can you do that? We're just not the kind of company that's going to say, nah, we're not going to listen to you. I mean, they're the people that use it. Them are the people we should be building it for.
Right.
So,
right.
them are just changes that we make. I mean,
Yeah.
all
It's truly as close to flawless as a roll-off trailer gets, in my opinion. I know there's many out there, but they're not all the same. They are not all built the same. And you guys, your customer service, and just I love what you guys got going on. We're in a town of 258 people. I saw it on the sign.
Right.
And you got half the town here.
Well, I've been very blessed, and I've been blessed by the business. I've been blessed by customers, and you have to put that in perspective, how that all works out.
And years of doing it.
I mean, it's and it'll continue to be years as long as we take care of our customers. We build the stuff that they can use and they need, and don't think that we know how it's got to be, because we're not out there using it.
Right. Well, I think that pretty much answers all the people's questions. If you guys have any more questions, or you want to contact Dave or Nedland, how do they do that?
You can get a hold of us at www.nedland.com. You can get a hold of myself at dave@nedland.com. My son, Corey, at nedland.com. Or just give us a call at 800-447-4925. We'll be more than happy to answer any question you have, and we can get you to talk to anybody you need to help you with any problems that you have. Whether you currently own an EZ-Rolloff or you're looking to buy one, we'd love you to become one of the family, because as I mentioned, Corey's my son. We're a family company. We've been that way since 1945, and we're going to stay that way.
Awesome. All right, well, I hope you guys like that. It's pretty cool to hear from Dave himself all about this trailer, and I know a lot of people out there watching have gotten trailers of some sort. A lot of you have gotten Nedland, and I'm sure you're very happy with it. But I highly recommend that you guys check them out. If you're serious about getting into this business, if you're truly serious about it, get the right equipment. They are a little bit more expensive. They do take a little bit longer to get, but you will not regret it. I promise you, you will not regret it. This is the one and only trailer for a roll-off trailer that you'll ever need. The only thing you can do after this is get a truck, roll-off truck. And Nedland's does that too. So if you want a roll-off truck made, you guys don't do hook lift, right?
No, we just standard cable.
Just standard rail cable, but they do build trucks too. So if you guys are interested in that, check them out. Well, I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and we will see you on the next one.
You see, that one's a black rod.
Yeah.
Well, what that is like, it must have been 20 years ago. Gosh, we were putting seals in these things left and right, and I was like, why are we have to put so many seals in these reeving cylinders? I said, I don't understand. It's made by the same manufacturer, just a little different setup. Well, here the road debris, the rocks and anything on the road would hit on the bottom of these rods.
Sure.
And it would nick the rods, nick the chrome. Well, then that would eat the seals, and they'd be just leaking. So I went to our manufacturer of the cylinders, and I said, we got to change something here. I says, either you got to come up with a harder chrome or something that can't damage that and ruin the seals. So then they said, well, we should just start building these with nitro rods. A little bit more money, but never put another seal in, ever. In 20 years, it was done.
Something so simple that you just wouldn't think about.
You wouldn't think about it. You always think, well, chrome works a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, until it gets damaged. Then it works at tearing the seals out.
Yeah.
So we leave.
And the tolerance on that is like nothing.
Nothing. It's
so
like
you get
nothing.
like a freaking a hair in there, and it could
it could leak.
Yeah.
You know? So these are always down when you're going down the road. Your tilt cylinder's always in, so nothing can hurt them.
Right.
But your reeving cylinders, they're all the way out because you had to shoot them all the way out to bring that can up here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I should have covered that.
Well, you just did.
And I should have covered the
safeties?
The locks. I mean,
I've covered those in my.
good. Then,
I've covered those.
Yep.
Your lock here
Yep. And this
and
one.
that one.
And that one in the back, that's, like I said, that was an East Coast thing. But you know what? We just thought,
Yeah.
come on all.
Yeah.